Being in the merchant marine, you hear a lot of things that just simply aren't true. I'm gonna call these things myths. These are myths that you hear people chat about, things you hear about traveling the sea, working on ships, the lifestyle, this and that. So today we're gonna go over 5 myths I hear in the merchant marine. So I'm gonna set a couple things straight, being in the merchant marine. As a merchant mariner for the last few years now, I have experienced quite a lot on my travels. I've been all over the world, I've been on all different types of ships, so I can say I can speak as a merchant mariner in this topic. First myth I'm going to myth bust is going to be that you work on a cruise ship. That's probably the biggest one I'm always getting. Oh, you work on a cruise ship? I mean, I'm capable to work on a cruise ship. I know plenty of people in this industry that I personally know who have worked in cruise ships. I have never worked on a cruise ship, and but I haven't yet. And getting people assuming that I'm always on a cruise ship irks me a little bit. The thing with the cruise ship is it's a party boat. It's always a big party. People getting fired left and right. I feel like it's a lot more scrubbing the deck, a lot more dressing all neat, making sure you look good for the passengers. Now, as a merchant mariner on a cargo ship, which is what I usually work on, tankers, ro-ros, container ships, those are the ships where we have no passengers on board. I don't have to look good for anybody. Most of the time, I look and smell like shit. Covered in dirt, sweaty. I don't worry about what I look or smell like until the end of the day when I'm about to crawl back in bed. Most merchant mariners don't work on ships that have passengers. We are dealing with cargo. Now this is a crazy one. Mariners have to be good at math. 28 plus 36. Myth busted. You don't get seasick once you're used to it. Now that is complete bull. I know people who have been sailing for years that I've seen thrown up over the ship. I mean, I've been sailing for a little bit now. I'm not a 10-15 year long merchant mariner yet, but a few years I'm under my belt, and I've went through some rough seas at this point, and I can say I'm pretty seaworthy. But sometimes a little swell will hit that ship the wrong angle, and your stomach will flip and flip and flip. You won't even be able to see straight. You'll be sucking on lemons. You'll be sleeping it out. You're back in your bedroom. It is not easy, and it is nothing you get completely used to. You'll definitely get your sea legs. That is a guaranteed. You will get your sea legs. You'll be very different from day 1 on a ship to day 20. But once you get to that day 20, basically the same forever. You're not gonna just keep getting more and more used to it. You're gonna hit the ceiling. Everyone gets seasick if those swells and those waves hit that ship wrong. Everyone starts getting sick. I can guarantee it. I've been on a ship when half the crew was sick. They didn't even know what was going on. People were hurling all over the place. Couldn't even understand what was going on. It was a sunny day too. It was just the wave of the ocean. Side to side going, oh yeah, your belly ain't gonna take it. Whatever you ate, those chimichangas, they're coming out, baby. Once you've sailed one time, sailing entirely becomes boring. Now, when I first heard this, it threw me for a loop. I said, how? How was there ever a time, specifically for me, when it gets boring? You're sailing the world. You're getting to go to all these different countries. Even if you're not getting to sail the world, you're just sailing the coastline. You're still moving. You're still getting to travel. You're still going to all these amazing places, doing this amazing job. When is this boring? Yeah, there's some off time when you're hanging out in your room and nothing's going on, but you love those moments. You get to be alone. You get to read a book. You get to play video games, do whatever you want on your free time. But boring? Boring is just not. There's no way. You're constantly busy. You're constantly working. You're in this beautiful area. Boring is not the word. I've sailed Cross the Atlantic, like 12 times. I don't know. I never get sick of crossing the Atlantic. Never gets old going over to Europe, you know, coming back to the States, being like, oh, yeah, you know, that never gets old. Crossing the Atlantic, crossing the sea, taking on the weather and the sea never gets old. Going to foreign ports never gets old. Working with cargo ops, the crane, the forklift, meeting new people on ships, learning new things on the bridge, in the engine room, working with your hands, none of that gets old. It's never boring. When people say it gets boring, I don't even believe them. I believe they never sail. That myth is busted, in my opinion. Busted. You can easily get off at any port. Now, I thought this to be true. With my experience, I thought this to be true. But there were a couple things that I saw on my travels that just guaranteed this isn't true. There was this time when we were in Texas, an American state as an American ship, so a buddy of mine was going out to get some stuff from Walmart. I was on gangway watch, signed him out, said, hey, see you later, buddy. He's like, all right, he has shorts on, he was going to go for a little run and then get some shopping done. Now, my whole shift goes by, he never came back. Like, oh, he's really must be having a good time. I go at dinner, and at dinner, he comes back. I see him. I'm like, oh, you must have a good time. He said, well, my plan was only to be gone for an hour. I was supposed to be working for dinner. He worked in the galley. He got arrested. He got arrested the minute he stepped off the ship. Because guess what? He forgot pass. He walked off the ship, walked about halfway down the road. They pulled up on him, and they asked him where his pass was. He didn't have one. Ended up right in the back seat of that cop car, and they drove him to their facility. Questioned him, thinking he was some kind of invader. I don't even know. A couple hours later, he finally got in contact with the ship, and they had to call up and let him go. You never know. You never know. So not every port is easily walked on. Besides that, you can always stumble upon a port that is dangerous. Dangerous ports, such as that I've been to. I've been to Haiti, for example. Very dangerous. We were not allowed to get off the ship. It was that dangerous. The port was run by gangs. There were gunfights going on, burning buildings. We couldn't get off the ship. We were not allowed. For our safety, we had armed security on board. For our safety, we could not get off the ship. So you'll run into ports like that. When there are ports in war times, you might not be able to get off. It might be advised that you stay on board. You might go into a country a third world country that might not be the safest. Might be a lot of crime, things going on that the company just doesn't want to get involved with, so they'll say stay on board. Or the people on the facility don't want you coming. They say, no, you're staying on the ship. We don't want to process you. We don't want to get through all that paperwork. You're staying on the ship. Sorry, buddy. You're staying on. We don't want to do all that. Now, if you want to learn more about a dangerous port that I've personally been to, like I mentioned, Haiti, check out my last video. I go in depth about my time and what I've seen when I was in Haiti as a merchant mariner. Go check it out.